Well, it looks like the Republicans passed Trump big beautiful bill. Mm-hmm. That big beautiful bill that's cutting your Medicaid, your Medicare. Republicans did this now. Republicans passed the bill. The Republican controlled Congress passed a bill, Donald Trump's so-called big beautiful bill. It's cutting your Medicaid. It's going to cut your Medicare. It's going to cut your SNAP benefits. It's going to cut your Social Security benefits and all kind of other little goodies in there.
Nobody's coming for your Medicare, they said. Nobody's taking away your Medicaid, they said. You're not going to lose your health insurance. Don't worry. The gaslighting is off the fucking charts.
I voted for you because of your no tax on overtime bill, amongst other things. But here's the deal. I just read your great big beautiful bill, and it's bullshit.
Let's talk about the big beautiful bill. Matter of fact, ladies and gentlemen, if you would ask me, it would have been better off calling it a BBL, because at this point I feel like Republicans are literally just waking up and naming these bills random names. Okay, but anyway, the most important thing that I want us to talk about, ladies and gentlemen, is the way Elon Musk and DJT are having beef over this bill. So people are speculating there's bad blood between DJT and Elon Musk because of this beautiful big bill. Okay, but the most important thing, MAGA. Yeah, I never seen MAGA on the internet literally just in one day coming out and saying, yo, DJT, hold on. We put you in power, okay, not to raise our taxes. We put you in power to make our lives easier. Now, with everything that has been going on, do you want to be the next man to be dealt with by Americans like the way Luigi Mangione dealt with that CEO? No, because why is it becoming hard for us to get medical aid? Why are you bringing bills that are making it hard for us? Let's not even go into the student loans. Ladies and gentlemen, the big, beautiful bill, what is your take on it? What do you think is going to be the impact on American people because of this bill? No, because how do you bring a bill into existence that's going to make a poor person more poor and a rich person richer? Now, this reminds me, yeah, if you remember the words of Kamala Harris, the woman said, this man doesn't care about you. He cares about the rich only. And MAGA supporters are crying as well. They're saying we did not vote for this. Please make it stop. But I want you to listen to this black woman's words carefully when she says that it looks like the Trump administration is doing things like you don't need to vote for them no more.
The Republicans are voting for things like there's never going to be another election. Have you guys noticed that? They're backing anything this man does as if they would never have to rely on being elected again. They're passing things that are, in normal times, political career ending. They're putting their names to things that normally would mean the end of their political career. So what is that telling you? They're voting like they know something you don't know. They're voting like they don't need your vote ever again. And not to forget, Trump told y'all during the campaign, if you vote now, you never have to vote again. So it seems to be looking like, to me, the Republicans don't ever expect to have to win your vote again. That's why they're voting against all of your benefits. They're voting against all of your rights. They don't have to worry anymore about you putting them in office. That's what it seems like to me. Right? And then just recently, Mike Johnson, the leader of the Do Nothing Republican Party, the Do Nothing Congress Republican Party, he came on the other day in front of America and I guess tried to do this heartfelt plea of how, the Congress salary hasn't been raised since 2009. And they just cannot make it on $174,000 a year. And they're taking these positions to serve us. So they're sacrificing. They're sacrificing themselves to service us, the American people. So in order to do that, to serve us, and at the sacrifice supposedly that they're giving, they want the American public to go along with them committing insider trading, which is illegal, which is against the law. And they're basing it on because their salary hasn't went up since 2009. I have one question. The minimum wage has been frozen at $7.25 an hour since 2009. So should those people also be entitled to committing insider trading? Should they be allowed to do illegal insider trading? Because they surely cannot make it in this economy off $7.25 an hour. So if Mike Johnson is trying to justify committing a crime of insider trading because they can't make it off $174,000 a year, surely the people that are only making $7.25 should jump to the front of that line, because I know damn well they not making it. And Mike Johnson, while you up here hollering your salary is $174,000 a year, your net worth is between $6 million and $10 million. How are you not making it? If you never make another dime, you got enough money to last you the rest of your life. But you want to go out and commit crimes. You want you and your Congress to be able to go out here and commit insider trading because you're greedy. So people, what they're saying is you're not paying them enough to take your health care. You're not paying them enough for taking your veterans benefits. You're not paying them enough to take your Social Security. You're not paying them enough to take your SNAP benefits. They need more money to continue to ruin your life. Do y'all get it yet? Do you get it? They have a whole plan up their sleeve for you, and it's not good. They're voting like there's no election tomorrow. Because my thinking is, according to what they're trying to pull off, it won't be another vote. It won't be another election in this country. Think about it. Why do you think they would be voting like there's no repercussions? Why would they be voting as if they don't have to answer to anybody at the next election? Think about it, people. Think about it. It has gotten to the point to where if you don't stand up and pay attention to what is really going on, by the time you try to wake up, it's going to be too late. Do you know that, remember Project 2025? Do you know that they are just about at 50% of completing all the things they had in Project 25? I think they're at 40-some% of it. In 100 and something days, they have 40% of their agenda completed. See, that's what they wanted to do the last time Trump was in office. They didn't realize that Trump was so incompetent that he couldn't get anything done. So this time they weren't taking the chances. All those executive orders you see Trump being handed and explained to him because he hasn't read it, and look on his face, he don't know what the hell he's signing. That's Project 2025. They've taken the position of what Trump was supposed to have done last time. So they're going to make sure it gets done because they're the ones doing it. Remember, it was even said that people from Project 2025 will be writing his next, will be writing the articles or the bills for his next election. So MAGA Republicans and Trump supporters, y'all play right into their hands. And you dealt a devastating blow, not only to the American people, but to yourselves as well. You're losing your farms. You're losing jobs. You've been laid off left and right. DEI no longer. White women, y'all got hit the hardest. As quiet as it's kept, you guys were the biggest benefactors of DEI. But they want y'all back at home in them kitchens. So no more corner offices, no more CEOs, no more executive, no more the only woman on the team. Proud of yourselves? Because it's just the beginning. Keep waking up in the mornings to more and more loss, to more and more poverty, to more and more of your rights being taken away. Until the day you look up what Donald Trump is king of the United States. Because that's what they are booking on. And that's what they're trying to sneak through that 1,000-page big, beautiful bill that they wanted them to do in 3 hours, 1,000 pages. It's all kind of little traps in there. It's all kind of little trickery in there. They're doing this man bidding. They are more afraid of a demented, senile, diaper-wearing white man than they are of you. Because they know you guys are never going to be able to vote again. What the Republican Party is doing right now is ensuring we go to dictatorship. And you guys voted for it and you put us there. So, I have one question and I'm out. Is it great again yet? Asking for a friend.
I wanted to give you guys an update on this big, beautiful spending bill currently in the Senate. As of today, May 27th, there are 6 Republicans, hardline Republicans, who are not going to vote for it. They've come out and stated it publicly. I want to give you their names so you know who to look out for. The first one is Ron Johnson, the biggest critic of it, called it a sad joke because, and this is going to blow your mind, it doesn't cut enough. Oh, I'm sorry. I guess cutting Medicaid and Medicare and food stamps was just chump change to you. It doesn't cut enough. We're talking around 1 trillion already. And that's not enough. He also says it would raise the deficit. Oh, yeah, of course. That matters more than people not being able to live. The deficit, right? But whatever. I guess that's one. Another one that doesn't think it was doing enough was Mike Lee from Utah. What is wrong with these people? How is it that this bill, which is going to cut all of Medicaid, Medicare, and food stamps, that's not enough for you? What else do you want them to cut? What else can they cut? Jesus Christ. But then you got some hardline moderates like Susan Collins and Lisa Murkowski who just says no cuts to Medicaid whatsoever. And then out of nowhere, Josh Hawley, yeah, remember that guy? J6, where they stormed the Capitol. He was actually raising his fist to the people while they were doing it. Yeah, that guy. He came out and said, no Medicaid cuts. All right. Of all people. I don't trust him, by the way. He might flip. I think he will. And the big one is Rand Paul. Absolutely not. It would be problematic and it would raise the deficit. None of them were talking about that provision we talked about a few days ago, the courts not being able to hold DJT in contempt. I would think that would be an absolute no across the board because it's a provision that has nothing to do with the budget. This means it would need a 60 vote. And the Dems have already said they're not going to vote for it. So they might have to take that one out. So there are 2 names that are not on this list that I'm curious about. One is John Thune. John Thune himself said there's going to be revisions. This is a starting point. The wording was weird about that, but he said there's no way we're passing it as it is. And if DJT doesn't like that, he can stay big mad. He literally said that. He can stay big mad. And then the other one is Mitch McConnell. The reason why I bring up Mitch McConnell is, number one, he's been voting against almost everything DJT has put forward. In the past, Mitch McConnell has been against anything when it comes to Medicaid, but he has come out and said he's for cutting some of it. He feels like it would add to the deficit over time if there's too much money dedicated to Medicaid, Medicare, and all that kind of stuff. But he believes we should have it. So I'm curious to know what he's going to do when it comes to that. But right there, I just gave you 8 Republicans. 8. They can only lose 3. If we got more than 3, it's not going to pass. So right now, we have 6 officially that have said we're not going to go for it. We have 8 potentially. We'll see where the others sit. They want to pass it by July 4th. With the way things are looking, it's not going to pass by July 4th. It's going to take a while. Now, let me just say this. A bill is going to pass. I'm sorry. A bill is going to pass, and it's going to hurt us. Now, the bill that passes might not hurt us as much as this one will, or it might be worse. We don't know. We just know, as of right now, this bill's not going to pass, which I guess is a good thing, but we still got time, so they say they're not going to vote for it now. I don't trust these Republicans. I'll trust them when they stand by their word. There were like a solid 10 Republicans in the House that said we're not going to go for it, and they ended up voting for it. So if you think these same Republicans aren't going to portray their values, you might want to temper your expectations. A bill is going to pass, and it's going to hurt us one way or another. We can only hope that whatever passes doesn't hurt us as much as this one will. In the meantime, stay hopeful, trust your gut, call your senators, let them know you're not for this. Even if it's just one more Republican you can flip, it would do a lot. So call your senators and always know.
Also includes MAGA baby savings accounts for children that are born before January 1st, 2024, under 8 years old, U.S. citizens, and have at least one parent with a valid Social Security number. And when this tax provision becomes law, the child, if the parents seek to do this, will be set up with a savings account. Essentially, it's a 401k for a newborn baby, and child's relatives, their parents, can contribute up to $5,000 per year of after-tax dollars annually to that account. And then later in the baby's life, at age 25, savings account holders can withdraw up to the full balance of the account. Upon reaching 30, the account holders can access the full balance of the account for any purpose desired. So it's a great initiative for new parents.
Mr. President, Elon Musk in a television interview criticized the one big, beautiful bill, saying he was disappointed it didn't cut enough, essentially, that it undercut the DOGE efforts. What's your reaction to that?
Well, the reaction's a lot of things. Number one, we have to get a lot of votes. We can't be cutting. We need to get a lot of support, and we have a lot of support. We had to get it through the House. The House was. We have no Democrats. If it's up to the Democrats, they'll take the 65% increase. If that doesn't get approved, this country is going to have a 65% increase in taxes and lots of other problems, big problems, almost bigger than that. But we'll have a 65% increase as opposed to the largest tax cut in the history of our country.
So you're telling me that this new administration thinks that it's a good idea to make it even more difficult to become doctors, even though there's currently a doctor shortage right now. What I'm reading from this big, beautiful bill is that they're trying to eliminate the Grad Plus loan, which a lot of us medical students will use to compensate for what the unsubsidized loans that we take out cannot cover fully. There is a cap that they're trying to make, which is at $150,000. Mind you, I go to one of the most expensive medical schools. Most people are leaving with $400K in debt. So what this means is it's going to push people to take private loans, which is probably exactly what they want. With those private loans, the issue is that interest rates are higher. You are not eligible for the repayment plans, nor are you eligible for forgiveness, which is what we're sold when we're going into medical school. It's like, oh, you could do public service loan forgiveness, or you could do the income-driven loan repayment, and you'll be fine, and you won't have to worry. You can pay off your loans within about 10 years. And so what you're probably wondering is, where do they find this cap of 150K? So what they're doing is they're getting the median number of tuition for all similar programs in the United States, and then using that number as the cap, as if there aren't schools at the far end of that spectrum, like my school, where people are leaving with $400K in debt. And this is different from how they currently calculated, which is based off of your specific school's tuition. For example, my school, my loans are going to reflect how much the cost of attendance is at my school. They don't factor in how much it costs at other schools, because what do the other schools' tuition have to do with my tuition? This new plan is just going to make it more difficult for students of color to be physicians and low-income students to become physicians. And what we're not realizing is the value that we bring to these spaces within healthcare. We bring cultural competency and are able to relate to patients who come from various backgrounds. It's only going to hurt the patients. And it's crazy to me, as if medical school isn't hard enough, studying all day and focusing solely on medical school. We want to bring on this added stress of worrying about how we're going to financially support ourselves. And to be very blunt to these political people who are making these big decisions, I think the last people that you should be wanting to stress financially at this level in their training are the next generation of doctors who will be taking care of you when you're on your deathbed.
I need someone to help me make this big, beautiful bill make sense, because I don't get it. I don't want arguments, but I do want to hear from people who support this bill. Genuinely, I need help understanding how you can support a bill that cuts healthcare for the poorest and sickest people in this country. I genuinely want help understanding how people can still support the theory of trickle-down economics when we have 40 years of precedent to show that it does not work. Help me understand how you can support a bill that will add $4 trillion to our deficit while hurting American citizens. This bill isn't about schmishmortion. It's not about illegal immigration. And again, the economic theory has 40 years of precedent to show that it doesn't work. So how is this going to fix our economy? Everything that I'm hearing from people who support this big, beautiful bill is the trickle-down economic theory of it. That again, we have 40 years of precedent to show it doesn't work. So there's got to be something else. There has to be some other really good thing about this bill where people would actually support removing healthcare from the poorest and sickest people in this country. And if it's so beautiful, why is it being debated in the shadows of the night? There is no actual emergency. Their deadline is completely made up, and they are trying to rush this through because if they go fast, maybe people won't notice the things in the bill. I've got to be missing something.